Hi. Now I spend a lot of my time just bird watching. I don't carry my cameras around very often, not here in the Midlands anyway. The chances of me stumbling on something I'm going to photograph where I live is pretty slim. I have to find things and go back and photograph them afterwards, putting up hides. If I lived in other parts of the country, there's more opportunity for just walking around with a big lens over your shoulder. You might stand a chance, but not here. So I spend a lot of time bird watching, and there's a song thrush singing here. It was singing here last year as well, last spring, and normally I'm about 100 metres that way, and as I walk down the hedge I can hear that song thrush and it's singing away, but you can't see it. They tend to tuck themselves away inside the tree. But when I come around this side, and I can remember doing this last spring as well, you can actually see it. And there's a bit of a slope there. The trees aren't very tall, and more or less you're level with it. So what I should have done last spring, and I just never had time to do it, was put a hide up and see if I could photograph that song thrush. So I got two choices. I can do it in the afternoon when the sun will be coming that direction and be lighting it up, or I could do it in the morning and there might be a silhouette shot as well. If I started walking towards that bird now, it's about 60 metres from here, I would say, it would fly away. But if I put a hide up, within a few minutes it will come back and carry on singing, or at least there's a very good chance of that. And I happen to enjoy sitting in hides anyway. So before I put the hide up, I get my tripod in the right place and my stool in the right place, and I'm lined up on the branches where I'm hoping that song thrush is going to land. I don't put the hide up first because then I've got to move everything. It's get this right first and then just put the hide over the top of me. Now I don't think you can put a hide up any faster than that. It's just instant, it just pops up, and you can fold it almost as quickly as well. So it's become my favourite hide. I'm using these Buteo hides now just all of the time. This is the Mark II version. They're on the Mark III, and they will be at the British Birdwatching Fair for the first time this year. It's a Dutch company from the Netherlands, so they're going to have a stand at the bird fair, so I'll go along there and see them. I like going to the bird fair. You meet other bird photographers there, you get to see all the tours. It is a very large part of the fair it's a travel show, but nevertheless I travel a lot, so it's nice to go and get ideas on where you can go and just to see all the gear and the gadgets. But I really just like bumping into other bird photographers. That's probably the main reason I go. So Buteo, they will be at the bird fair for the first time this summer. And it does have a door on it when you want to do it the old-fashioned way. Now I don't want to give you the impression that this works first time every time. It doesn't. I had 4 sessions with this song thrush, 3 of them in the evening and 1 in the morning where I'm getting a silhouette. And I got a result every day, but usually there was something wrong. A branch across the bird, or the background wasn't very attractive, so you keep going back and trying again. You can see a branch here in the foreground. As a stills picture that would really spoil it. Doesn't spoil video as much as stills pictures though. I concentrated on video because I really wanted the birds singing, so this is the only stills picture I took. And then the early morning shot. Now, while I've been in the hide photographing the song thrush, there's been a grasshopper warbler singing right next to the hide in this bramble, and it was here last year as well. And I did have a go at photographing this last year. I got nothing at all, but I might have another go at it. They're very variable grasshopper warblers. Usually they sing completely invisible, tucked away in the vegetation, but especially when they first arrive on territory, they can be very showy. They're a summer visitor, and those first few days they're here, they can sit up on the tops of the bushes and sing in the open and be oblivious to people. You can walk right up to them sometimes. This grasshopper warbler is not really showing itself. Occasionally I see it for about 1 or 2 seconds. And if I'm very lucky, I get the lens on it and I maybe get 2 or 3 pictures and it's off again. So I'm not attempting to do a video. With video, you really want the bird out in the open for 20 to 30 seconds. That's a typical video clip. When it's as fast moving as this and not showing, I just stick to still photography. If it does come out in the open, then I'll take a few frames as a stills picture, then just hit the video button and let it run. Certainly not my best grasshopper warbler pictures, but I got a few, and since I could see it wasn't working, I only had the 1 session. And because the bird shows so infrequently, you have to keep staring at the hedgerow all the time, but I did get a bonus. There was a willow warbler stroke chiff-chaff just landed. Again, it was very brief. I've just counted the number of frames. I got 12 frames at 20 frames per second. So it was half a second that it was in the frame and in focus. And out of those, I think, just a quick glance, 2 or 3 of them in a nice pose, and then it flew away. And the colour of the legs tells us it's a chiff-chaff. A few other birds that I've done singing this spring. A blackbird. Unfortunately, it never really got into full song, and you can hear other blackbirds in the distance, and it seemed to be listening to those more than singing itself. And a goldfinch twittering away. Heathlands are good places to photograph singing birds because they tend to be low down on the bushes. This is an area of gorse, and we have a greenfinch with its sneezing song. And probably the easiest of the songsters, the robin. Easy because they're so often so tame and approachable. And then the bird that is often regarded as the ultimate songster, at least in the UK, the nightingale. This is taken on foot at the Pulborough Nature Reserve down in Sussex. They don't show themselves very often. You get very close to them, they're very loud, you know they're there, but they're normally hidden in the vegetation. And I was lucky very early in the morning to get this one out in the open, and then the rest of the day I just listened to them, never saw one again. And is it the ultimate songster? I would go for a blackbird accompanied by cooing wood pigeons every time. I think a blackbird is more fluid and it's a more regular thing for us to hear, and very often accompanied by cooing wood pigeons. Thanks for watching.